Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another redstone video. This machine here is our bulk storage using shulker boxes, along with our villager trading hall, which is built into the back side, or rather the outside. And then back here, right here, is our automatic potion brewing machine, which distributes splash potions of weakness throughout the villager trading hall. So before we do the overview, we're going to go over a couple of things here. There is a world download link in the description. There is also a Litematica Schematic for those of you who have the fabric mod installed, so you can see how this is built. And then also there's a Reddit link post in the description below, so you can see how we have this built around our spawn chunk. So just to show you right here, this is where the villagers are. So imagine like all this stuff over here is the, inside the spawn chunk, and this is just the outside where this line divides the active chunks from the inactive chunks. That's how this is built. So the villagers are stationed inside of the inactive chunks, or rather the lazy chunks, to help reduce some server lag. All right. One other note: this is built for Java. I don't think this will work for Bedrock. I don't know. Haven't tested it. I don't play Bedrock, so I apologize to the Bedrock players who come across this video and discover that this is not for them. However, if you do play on Bedrock and you can build something like this, I'd like to see it. Post a YouTube link in the description below, or I have a Discord link in the description as well, so you can post it in our Discord if you'd come up with something like this for Bedrock. I'd be interested to see it. We're going to get down to it. Here we go. So we have a bunch of items here that we're filtering out. This is just for test purposes, but this right here would be used for getting your items down the dropper line. We have our dropper line going from this end all the way down to this end with our filters below it. Each repeater on 2 ticks. The 2-tick repeater gives the hoppers enough time to pull an item down from a dropper. And if we had them on 1 tick, you'd see items being spit out the end here because it's too quick for the hoppers. So we have that. We have our standardized filtering wiring here. So we have our comparator down to 3 redstone. This redstone third piece is down 1 block. This will power the repeater if need be, and power off this torch, which will unlock this hopper, of course. Once items make their way past this hopper, they flow freely. They cascade down to these hoppers right here into the shulker box. Now this section right here, this little square, if you would, is our shulker box loader and shulker box breaker, all in one piece. I did get this piece from Il Mango. I think I got it from him, so credit to him for that. I did not come up with this myself, but I decided to include it in this build so we can have something that loads shulker boxes, breaks them, and puts them down to the dispenser. So there's 2 things that happen here. So the items go into the shulker box. Once the shulker box is full, this will start to fill up, and once you have at least 1 piece in here, as you can see here, there will be some redstone signal coming out the back here. Once the hopper reaches around 42 items, this will go from a 1 to a 3, which means this will be a 1 up here. Once the observer sees this as a 1, and once this also reaches a 1, which if the top reaches a 1, the bottom will reach a 1 as well. Once this hits a redstone signal of 1 from 0, this will fire off a 1 redstone pulse tick to the sticky piston, which will push this item forward. The honey block and the redstone block will stick to it. And also down here, it'll power off this torch, which will unlock the hopper that's up front here. When this gets pushed forward, this will lock this hopper and fire off the mechanism. So what it'll do is it will fire this up with a 1 redstone pulse tick. This will fire off this repeater, which will do a 2 redstone pulse tick, which means this piston right here will push the observer down and pull it back up. And what that does, it will break the shulker box into the open hopper, or rather the unlocked hopper. It'll accept it in, and when it comes back up, it'll dispense a new shulker box, and items will start to fill that up. Provided it's given enough time, all the items that are in this hopper will empty into the shulker box, and then this side will change from a 3 back down to a 2, or rather, sorry, it will change from a 1 down to a 0. The observer will see that and retract the piece of redstone, and this will, being a 0, will unpower this repeater, which will relock the hopper. So all these open hoppers here, they're not actually open. They're locked. Well, I guess you say they're open, but they're actually locked. So that helps reduce some server lag tremendously. All right, moving down a little further, we have our shulker box shut off, our shulker inventory shut off, if you would. So once this inventory gets full, actually, let's see what happens. So the shulker box goes into the hopper and gets cascaded down all the way down to this dispenser right here. bulk of our storage is done in the large chest right here, or rather the double chest. And once it fills up past that into this hopper, this comparator fires up, or fires the piston up one tick, or rather just up, period. And then the observer sees it, retracts this redstone block. What the redstone block does when it gets pulled back this way is it locks the hopper above it, meaning that hopper, this slice, can no longer receive shulker boxes, because what do you need more of that item for? It's double chest of shulker boxes. It's a ridiculous amount of items. So that is to make sure that as we cycle shulker boxes through, that slice no longer receives shulker boxes, because you don't want to have like some infinite farm like cobblestone or something. You don't want to have that just loading your storage slice with just shulker boxes that are going to end up getting despawned. And then we have a little indicator light saying that, hey, once this gets pulled like to right here, and this slice is no longer accepting shulker boxes. So that's just the indicator light. And then right below this, we have the display blocks. If you can display the blocks, you can display the blocks. Of course, if you can't, just put them inside of an item frame and throw them up there, like this redstone piece. You can't put a redstone piece right here because the sticky piston will just get pushed up, which is not good. But back to this side here, this is where we access our shulker boxes from. The great thing about using shulker boxes to access your storage is you can take items out, use them, say, oh, I have too much I have left over, and go back and put them back in there. I think that's the greatest thing about shulker storage versus, regular silo storage and whatnot. We have a piece of string down here so that the shulker boxes, when they get dispensed, will be in the upright position versus sideways, because if they're sideways, then you can't open them. But since they're in the upright position, we have a little bit of space right there. They open just fine. Back here, we got some mechanics. So, yeah, we have a button right here to extend and then retract the sticky piston when there is no comparator signal coming out of the shulker box. So once this is empty, I'll actually demo how that works right now. So that got sucked up. All right, cool beans. For demonstration purposes, we're going to refill this with an actual box that has more stuff in it. So glowstone, glowstone, glowstone. There we go. All right, so that's actually good that happens. So I can show you what happens when you have shulker boxes in the dispenser, but you don't have any popping out. So you hit the button, fires off a bunch of stuff. When it hits the note block, a bunch of observers see that, a bunch of torches and repeaters fire off, and then you get another shulker box here. Once this is empty, the same mechanics fire off, and you get a new shulker box, so long as the dispenser has shulker boxes in it. That's pretty much how that storage piece works. All these levers are not required. Of course, you only need like a couple every now and then to keep the rails powered, or you can build the rails on top of redstone blocks, which also works. And let's go to the other side. When a shulker box is broken, the minecart picks it up, drops it off in this little dropper bubble elevator, and gets redispensed. Oops. Over here through this dropper line. And this dropper line will, the first hopper that has a space available, that's where the shulker box will go. And then we have over here a cache, or a buffer, if you would. We have a bunch of shulker boxes down here. This hopper is locked right now, so it's not going to release anything, but we can turn that off and let the minecart pick up a shulker box or two, and then release those through the bubble elevator into the dropper line. And then we can see them appear here. Yep. So as of right now, all these hoppers are full. So there's no hopper that can accept the shulker box. So they're going to go back to, the buffer here. And this is something you can turn off and on, once in a while manually if you need to, or just leave it running. It's not really going to matter. All right. Last but not least, there's a button down here that is used for the storage piece, and that's the last piece we'll go over before we go over the villager trading hall. So let's break this real quick. So what this button is used for is if you run out of shulker boxes here and you're like, oh crap, let's turn on our piece down here, let's keep it running, and we're gonna get some shulker boxes here. Once you see this full, you have to fire this a couple times, but you fire this off and you see a shulker box appear there. Once you see a shulker box appear there, you want to hit that button one more time to put that observer back where it's supposed to be, and it's ready to go. And the reason why it may take a couple times to fire is because when it does fire, this may get pulled up, this may get pushed down and pulled back up. When it does that, the redstone power going through the dispenser and the dropper via this repeater It may have to make its way from the dropper to the dispenser first before it'll fire. So just pay attention to that if you're going to be using this. I chose to put cobwebs in here, by the way, because I think it looks cool for number one. And second of all, hopefully the cobweb will catch and center the shulker boxes. I know it does it from when an item gets dispensed by a dropper from the side, it'll center the piece. So the hope was that it would center it on here as well. The cobwebs aren't required, but I think they're a good idea to have. All right, so next we have the villager trading hall piece. I don't think I missed anything up here. Oh, that button right here fires off this torch tower. These mechanics right there. We're gonna turn this piece off just because. All right, villager trading hall. Here we go. Let's clear out the inventory. So right here we have all of our villagers in their own slot. They are separated by one block, mainly the profession block that they have. And we have our rails all going towards the zombie that's over here to get infected. Now what we do here is on this block, if you look to this rail right here that's turned, when you fire this off, it actually turns the rail, which is good because what we want to do is we want to be able to send them off that way, and then when they come back, have it actually connect and put them back in their slot. We're gonna demo this real quick with just this villager right here. We'll hit the button, we'll send them off, and then we'll flick the lever and wait for them to come back. When they get back, we have dispensers here for golden apples. Also not required. You can just have, a stack of golden apples on you, or you can have just stuff locally inside one of these barrels. A couple stacks will do. They'll last for quite a while. And so this villager falls through a cobweb. Cobweb gives enough time for the zombie to, aggro to them and then kill them, or rather convert them. And then they can just go back on their merry way back to the slot that you pulled them from. And we'll do one more villager just so we can use one splash potion of weakness instead of two. So we'll grab our apple. Normally we have to grab two, so we'll grab two. And we'll wait for this villager to come back. Yep, he's going through the cobweb, getting smacked by the zombie, and I say about halfway through he's good. One of the reasons why we had to have the cobweb so high and not the block below is because once they hit the cobweb, they'll pretty much hit they'll drop down to the rail and they'll move. So we had to have the cobweb 2 block space above the rail, or rather a 2 block space above the block that the rail's sitting on. That'll make it so they give enough time. If you place them too close to the rail, they'll just fall through, which is kind of weird, but that's the mechanics of Minecraft. So we're gonna come back here, we're gonna hit that splash potion of weakness, cure both of them, and let that go. That's the villager trading hall. And one more time, this was designed to be built around the spawn chunk. This chunk board right here. It separates the active chunks from the lazy chunks. So when no one's online or you're not around the spawn chunk area, then the villagers will be unloaded, which is pretty good for lag purposes, especially if you're gonna have like a ton of villagers. And up here we have our automatic potion brewing machine, which dispenses splash potions of weakness throughout the villager trading hall. We have a couple on standby here. So this is full. Actually, it's not full. So we should have potions brewing right now. I think that's off. Yeah, this should be counting down. Oh, it just fired off. Goodness gracious. Okay, now it's full. And yeah, we're good. Yeah, if you haven't checked out this last video of mine with the automatic potion brewing machine, not the one with the water stream and the armor stand, but the actual last video I did. Yeah, check that out. This one's actually pretty good. It'll last, or rather, it'll stay turned on until all these barrels, one of these barrels empties. If any one of these barrels empties, it turns off. If this chest gets full, it turns off, which is pretty nifty. So that's it for the video, guys. If you have any part of this machine you want demoed on how these parts work, like say you're newer to Minecraft, you want the filter. How does the filter work? I'll do that for you. You want the shulker box thing done? I'll show you how that works. Show you how hopper locking works, whatever. It doesn't matter. You want any section of this build just pulled out and demoed and explained, I will be glad to do that. I just need to know which pieces you all want. And I think I covered everything in this video. Looking at the notes here, I don't think I missed anything. If there's something that you think I didn't cover very well, also feel free to leave a comment. I will gladly go over that in a separate video and demo some stuff for you. Oh, that's it for the video, guys. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I'll be doing some more videos in the future as I come up with some more machines. And and definitely yeah, world download in the link below. World download in the description below, as well as the Litematica Schematic, as well as a Reddit post to see exactly how large this machine is supposed to be. Again, you don't have to make it like that, but if you decide to, I'd like to see it. If you decide to do this in Bedrock, and you can make it very similar, or you can do something like this in Bedrock, I'd love to see it. 'Cause I don't play Bedrock, but I've heard it's a lot more difficult to work with Redstone. But thank you for watching, and until next time, happy Minecrafting, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!